Hello, true believers. Doc Hogg here, and wait a minute. Let me fix this. Okay, that's better. Doc Hogg here, and welcome to episode 4 of Comics and Variety. As promised, this is my review of Captain Marvel, which I went to see Thursday evening, and I don't. I don't really know what to say about this movie. I mean, it was awful. The first 5 to 10 minutes, I'm in there watching the movie, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, this is not too bad. This has potential. And then about half an hour into it, I'm like, oh dear God, I've got 90 more minutes of this. Not surprisingly, the theater was just about sold out. It is making good at the box office. Not a surprise. It is thus far, I'm sure, riding the previous success of the MCU. And there were people in the theater who seemed to really like this. One woman in particular was really whooping it up to the point that at the end of the movie, I really wanted to walk over to her and say, what are you sprinkling on your breakfast cereal, and where can I get some? So instead of a traditional movie review, what I've decided to do is give you a guide on how to watch Captain Marvel without actually watching Captain Marvel. And really, the best thing about this is instead of having to sit, through 2 hours of this insufferable mess, this will only take you about 15 minutes. All right, number 1, Brie Larson's acting. Go find a piece of wood. Stare at it for 5 minutes. That is a very good representation of Brie Larson's acting in this movie. Number 2 is special effects. Here you go. I'll provide a link to that in the description below. Okay, part 3, the on-screen chemistry of Brie Larson and Samuel L. Jackson. This part is a little more involved, but shouldn't be too difficult. Number 1, get a bowl. Step number 2, put some water in that bowl. Step number 3, put a piece of bread in the water in the bowl. Step number 4, wait about 5 minutes. Step number 5, hold up that piece of bread and say, this has more chemistry than Brie Larson and Samuel L. Jackson in the movie Captain Marvel. So that's about it. That's really all you have to do to properly watch Captain Marvel. And here's a little bonus content for those of you who were wondering, is Goose the Cat really that great? Well, that's pretty much it for Captain Marvel for now. Let's move on to Hogg's headlines. All the news that Doc Hogg cares to report on. Dateline, things that make you go, buh. A man in his 20s has been arrested over the break-in and theft of the head of an 800-year-old mummy at St. Michaun's Church in Dublin. The church was forced to close temporarily in late February after some of its crypts were vandalized, and a guide noticed that the heads of one of the mummies had been severed and was missing. Well, now it turns out that police have a suspect in custody, and rumor has it that the suspect has reportedly said, I guess I just didn't understand the point of grave robbing. Dateline, was your chicken happy? If you really need to know that your chicken was free range before you actually eat it, Well, there are now companies that will happily put a GPS device on its leg so that you will basically be able to know, quote, every step that that chicken has taken. It's not as absurd as it sounds, says Robin Metcalf, a food historian who teaches at the University of Texas at Austin. Actually, yeah, I think it is pretty much as absurd as it sounds. But, while we're wanting to know so much about the chickens that we eat, I would actually like to know if the chicken that I eat had aspirations of, for example, one day appearing on television. Well, that's all for now, true believers. Thank you very much for watching. If you wish to contact me, my email is dhog70@gmail.com. And as always, please hit the like and subscribe buttons, and have a nice day.